friends. It has been a hot minute, and welcome back to On the Fives. I am your host, Nicole of Peace Love Fandoms, part of the Red 5 Network. Woo-hoo! And I also lead our Red 5 Reading Book Club, which you, yes, you, here in our comments can also be joining us anytime you want. I am so excited because today I'm back. I'm finally excited. Holidays happen, a lot going on. And so I took a little time, but I'm glad to be back. Star Warsing, nerding. And that is exactly what I have been doing this past couple weeks with the Red 5 Reading Book Club, which you should check out on X. Okay. And that's Red 5 Reading. Again, that's part of the Red 5 Network, as well as the Red 5 Tavern for Dungeons and Dragons. So make sure you check out all of those, as well as many other podcasts on BioLink/Red5. But on the meantime, I got to mention a few, and I'm going to do a couple of quick shout outs of things that I've been up to and things that I have been checking out and watching. Real quick, one thing I have been doing, I've actually been doing something different, doing some voices. Because thank you to Spencer at the Dingus Den, who's going to be a guest today. He has been doing Batman the Long Halloween. So check out his page. Okay. We've been doing voices and it's awesome. Okay. So check it out. But recently, and I'm excited when Spencer joins us, he did a really cool interview recently. So check out the Dingus Den for sure. Okay. Very importantly. Some other really cool stuff. Back last year, we reread The Martian. And when we did The Martian, we also watched the movie as a group together. And just today, the Force of Light Entertainment ladies, Michelle and Natalie, just dropped a video just about that movie, The Martian. And I'm excited to announce we're going to be reading some Andy Weir again. I am so excited. We're going to be reading Project Hail Mary in March, just in time for the movie. I am so excited. This is going to be so much fun. I am also very curious if we're going to get any potatoes. If you know, you know. Oh, and hello. Oh, it's my digger. It's DJ. Oh, the extra Jesus. He says, great read, probably the plot for Batman Part 2. Ooh, I'm wondering if that's a hot take. I'm going to have to look into that. That's a really good question, because now I'm curious myself. And hello, Nicholas in Backyard Tardis. I think he might get into his TARDIS and join us today. I have a feeling. So excited. This one looks familiar too. Yep. Thank you. So excited. Please hit the like and subscribe button. But you know what? I'm just too excited. It's just been, again, too long. So we're going to go ahead and get it started. One last note. This Saturday is Star Wars Podcast Day. A day full of Star Wars podcasts. I will be going live at some point in the evening. I'm so excited. We might have a few of our guests today that will also be participating. But check out Star Wars Podcast Day. Just put it in your search bar and see what comes up. Okay? So exciting. But without further ado, I'm going to start introducing our guests. It's going to be fun. All right, here we go. First up, Ubaldo from Texas. Hello. Welcome in.
Hello. How are you guys?
I am good. I'm so excited.
I wonder why, huh?
It's been too long.
Yes, it has been.
You guys, Ubaldo and Bro would be so proud of me. I continue to fall more and more in love with this man, and I don't even know what I'm supposed to do about that at this point. I don't know. It's stop it. Anyways, he's using it for me. That's
welcome to the dark side.
I would like to show you my shirt, sir. Can you see it?
Oh yeah.
Vader on it. But special note, there's Chewbacca and he's holding a flag that says Rebels.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. If I see a Wookiee, that's it. I need a hug. All right. So I'm so excited. Spencer, the Dingus Den.
Hello,
Spencer.
I got to get your input on this.
Okay.
He said, "Great read, probably the plot for Batman Part 2."
It's sounding like it's going to take a bit of elements from that story, so we'll see what happens. Since we know as far as we know, Harvey Dent is a big part of part 2, so we'll see what happens.
Are we talking about the one with Robert Pattinson?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think we're gonna get any of my newer favorite supporting characters? You know, the ones that have many roles, but really,
isn't it Sebastian Stan meant to play Harvey Dent? Isn't that who got casted? Isn't that
my Bucky's gonna go to DC?
Was that who was rumored to play? There's some big name actor rumored to play. It might have been.
Wait, Henry Cavill's supposed to be playing something. Henry Cavill.
He's gonna be playing something else. I don't remember.
A villain. I don't even know how to feel about that.
I'm looking this up now that I brought it up because I feel like I could be completely wrong about this.
It's like our Sunday nights. We're always trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh, hello, Vader girl.
Yes, the reports is Sebastian Stan.
Oh,
hi, Kat.
Hi, Kat.
It's been forever. So good to see her. It's been a hot minute. All right. Without further ado, let's add in one more special guest. And you never know, we might always get the man behind the curtains. Maybe. But without further ado, let's introduce the man that's coming in from the TARDIS. Hello, Nicholas.
Hello, everyone.
Nick.
By the way, we all want to get into the TARDIS and go to your house currently. You have the warmest
yeah,
weather.
I have the best weather right now.
Spencer's like, yep, pick me up. Let's go. Look at him. He's
too
like,
cold
yep,
here. It's too cold here. I don't like the cold. Help me.
I mean, it is absolutely crazy to me that it's actually colder where Spencer is than it is here. Because I'm actually
also true.
Be like that. So,
yeah.
Ooh, sounds right, but it will be based more on Harvey's wife, I think.
That I'm unsure about, but we'll see.
Interesting. Okay, again, for those who are just joining us, check out the Dingus Den. Okay, we've been doing a read of Batman: The Long Halloween, and I have discovered some newfound favorite characters of mine. That if it was not for Spencer and this reading, I may not have fallen in love with him, and you'll just have to watch his channel and find out.
You know, that seems like it's the gift that keeps on giving, because they've adapted it now twice. So they've done it as a cartoon, and they've done it as an audio drama, and you read the comic book. You do all three, and there's little differences, but I feel like you blend them all together. And so this last time I used the graphic novel, looking through that while listening to the audio drama, and that was really cool because they follow it page per page.
So Spencer, are we doing like all three?
That's really cool. I haven't listened to any of that audio stuff, but they've been doing a lot of cool audio,
and it's free. It's free. It's wherever you get podcasts. It's not like a charged subscription thing. It's free.
The high volume or whatever it's called, right?
Yeah. High volume, Batman. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm correct that with Nick, because some of the voices that are in there are amazing. You know, it's like, you know, if you get a chance, listen to it because it just follows the comic really well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know it's not part of the high volume thing, but they just recently did, like a couple months ago, Kingdom Come in audio format. I really want to check that out, as that's like one of my favorite ever DC stories, along with Long Halloween. But anyway, not to get too far off.
That's pretty cool. I mean,
yeah.
But again, and again, check out Dingus Den, because we did do that, and I'm so excited because we continue to do it, and I'm just loving it. Quick question from Vader Girl: how is everyone doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Other than it being cold.
Good.
I don't like the cold. I mean, I know you're used to the cold, Kat, but like, I don't like it though. Take your cold weather back.
Same. I mean, I'm in the cold weather, but I don't like it. I'm ready for spring.
Yeah,
I'm ready for it to look like it is like behind Ubaldo.
Yeah, so sorry. Yeah, enjoying the weather out here. Like, you know, just to show everybody.
But you know that Nicholas from Backyard Tardis, he's really got it.
He has it better.
Right now I'm in the Northern California Valley, so I live in the foothills, but I live in the valley, And that's the nice thing about where I live. I can drive an hour and I can be in the snow. But I commute an hour down the hill and I'm in beautiful sunshine every day.
Nice.
Nice.
I love it. All right. Well, without further ado, let's get into this. So our January read was Master of Evil by Adam Christopher.
Oh.
I like this. I love it. Now, real quick, Nicholas, unlike you actually listened to this on audio, correct?
Yeah, I work insane hours. So I am a huge reader, but now to keep up with everything, I do a lot of audiobooks.
Okay.
So, and I did struggle with this one despite liking the narrator.
Okay. So you like the narrator. What was something that what's one negative that you were like, that could have been better?
So the fact that he's doing Vader's inner monologue, they made a choice. Like, he does lots of different voices. All of a sudden it's escaping me. I know who it was. But when he's doing Vader's inner monologue, he uses the same voice he uses for Luke Skywalker. And so I've heard him do so many other Star Wars books, and it just is an odd voice for to have Luke with that. I mean, to have Vader with that voice in his head.
Now, I like you actually decided this past week to finally sign up for my Spotify Premium again. Just for a little bit. We'll see how it goes. And
it was Mark Thompson who was the narrator.
Mark Thompson.
He does the majority of the things, and so I normally really like him, and I found it very interesting. He did all the women in the book too, except for when they got to the end when Vader was having the visions, and it was like Padme and Ahsoka. Those they got female actresses to do them, but all through the video, any main character that was female throughout the book, he did that voice in his normal attempting to do a girl's voice.
Oh my gosh. I kind of wish they would have maybe gotten a little of like a voice actress for that, but yeah, because I did. I signed up for Spotify Premium so I could kind of start listening because I wanted to see what we were talking about. But let me tell you, I can't wait to get into the whole Ahsoka Padme thing because these two are in out, but I'm excited to share with everybody. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the audio because sometimes audio is different than when you read it. It is different, and that's okay. Sometimes I do both, which is probably what I'm going to do on the next one. I'm probably going to be doing both. So with that being said, what is everybody's favorite character in this book? Do we have a favorite character that stands out? I would say not to say Vader, but I'm not going to do that.
He wouldn't be my one that stood out, though.
Oh, let's hear it. Come on, let's get it started.
TC-99, Nines. I just, as a droid, the amount of care and the concept of him doing the side load and of other droid matrices and kind of the controversy and just his general concern for his master in this. It just really good character development. Now, I was trying to go through in preparation for this and make sure, because I'm bad with names. And I have to say, Wikipedia, it's not in alphabetical order, but it is definitely their list of characters is like Nines comes after Ahsoka, who I think is like one dream sequence for a sentence. It's like way all the way at the bottom. And like halfway through the list is Darth Vader. It's like, how is that not the top character?
Should have been.
Okay, that's it. I'm out. Wow.
Well, Ubaldo, who was your favorite?
Well, you know who's my number one always. But put that aside.
It's this guy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
He's always my number one on everything. But when we get into it, he's still my number one. But TC and Goth, both are a heart of this book.
Mm-hmm.
But still my number one is Vader. But I'll explain. As we go through the talking about this book, why TC and Goth are 1 and 2. Well, actually, it's a tie, I should say, with those two. So, and it's fantastic what we get out of them.
Agreed.
I was pleasantly surprised at how much it was going from the perspective of Goth. One of the things that I don't care for with Vader is that in books specifically is there is a danger of ruining his character if there's too much dialogue in his headspace.
Yes.
Visually, Vader looks cool. It looks menacing, and I think like that was always my hardest problem I had with the prequels, is it was giving too much of an ordinary reason for his fall. A love interest and all that. If you're hearing what Vader's thinking, it can instantly make what your mind was putting there make him less cool than what you were imagining.
Okay.
Very true, because you got to be really careful to, you don't want to ruin that, because just everybody knows that figure. As soon as they see it, they know who it is. And then to get into that mind, it's like you're walking a fine line, to be honest with you. So, and you're right, Nick. You could either go really bad or you could go really good. So you're absolutely correct on that.
And I was nervous going into this book that it was going to be all from the mind of Vader, and that I could walk away lessening my image. But the way they did it, I think, was really well.
I was opposite of you, because one, I chose not to read the back of the book. I chose not to read anything up about this book because I really wanted to be surprised. And then one of the first surprises was Goth. And I was just like, wait, who? This is me. Who? Yeah. And what? I thought this was a Vader book. I mean, that is exactly like my first response was in when meeting up on the first night of talking about this book was I was like, so how did you guys all handle that? Because I was surprised. Pleasantly surprised.
Was he like Reva for you?
What?
Was Reva in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series?
No. We're not. Okay, one, I like parts of Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And no. This was a pleasant surprise. So kind of like Ubaldo and you. Like Goth, I mean, like Ubaldo, I liked Goth. I thought he, I kept saying in book club, I want him to go to the good side. I wanted him to go to the good side. Like, I wanted, because you could see his loyalty was there. It was just so interesting to see him and how he handled things. So I was really invested in his character. I did like him, although I really liked that droid too, TC-99. Awesome, I loved him. But here was the thing, I have a love-hate relationship. Anybody that knows me knows I have a love-hate relationship with Vader for my own personal reasons that we won't get into today. But that being said, I'm like, there were moments in this book, which we will get to shortly, that I just loved Vader and Anakin. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, I just wanted to call Ubaldo and call Rose and be like, okay, y'all happy now? Y'all, you good? You're good? Because I just couldn't, I was just like, okay, just when I thought I couldn't like this character more, love him more, for some odd reason, there was this new feeling for me that I was like, okay, I like him. I love him a little bit more. So here we are. So, Spencer, any particular favorite character, supporting character?
I'm not gonna lie. Nick stole essentially my answer of what I thought of ahead of time, but I 100% agree with everything he said. But also, it's just I just find it amazing how Star Wars is able to consistently give us great droids. It seems like the droids are almost always the standout in any given Star Wars project, and across any medium as well. And so,
absolutely,
and it's crazy too. Of the franchise is about to turn 50 years old, and we're still getting this variety of droids and everything, and it's just great. And it's great to see that this book continues on that legacy, which is fantastic. So I also wanted to comment on too when Nick was talking about the voices in Vader's head, with the books and stuff. That's exactly like I 100% agree with that. concern. And that's one of the big reasons I actually love the Vader comics, is because you get that great Vader story and you don't have to worry about that problem, and you still get Vader being awesome. So anyway, but yeah, no, TC is great, and Goth is, I think he's an easy, like those are like the easy quick answers, is like the book revolves all around their relationship, and it's such a great relationship through the whole book. And even though it's not necessarily like it is and isn't a Vader story, you know, like it is all about Vader, but then he's not the main focus, but then also kind of is, you know, and so like it's a great balance to everything. But like it really does help though when you make your two main characters be like such great characters. It's hard to pick somebody else as being such a great like favorite character than one of those two.
And I can give one more shout out though, because this is only later in the book, but Apo, CC1119, his going through his loyalty, you know, the Clone Wars cartoon taught us to really bond and develop with these clones, and they do a really good job of fleshing him out and his relationship, being there with Anakin on the day of Order 66, and then there, and him figuring it out in his head was good.
Yeah.
Oh, so sorry. Real quick, I said, are there any Vader things in the house? And then, I mean, the movies were based around him, and he is okay, I guess. Okay. You want to handle that, Ubaldo? He's no Palpatine. Thank God.
Well, you know, and just to give it praise to this book, because we know he's written some other great stuff. I've seen a lot of negativity towards the book, and people don't realize what we're getting here. This is the beginning of the Empire. You know, where the story's taking place. A lot of people don't realize that, you know, things are getting settled. You're seeing Vader out there, and it's like a lot of people don't know who this guy is. And in some of the chapters are like, who is this guy? You know, do we listen to him? Do we, you know, what is his rank? Does he outrank me? You know, those are the questions we're asking in the book, and it's like he's being established. You know, so when they see the cover and they see the title, they think, oh, it's about Vader. But what they put, the amount they put on him into this book, it's fantastic, because it is the beginning of the Empire. It's barely being established. It's you know, they know the Emperor, but not everybody knows Darth Vader yet. You know, so you know, you gotta open that mind a little bit and read through it, and to see what Adam was trying to do, what his story was trying to tell.
Yep. Agreed. Okay. Real quick before we jump back in, there was a lot of AI and fan films set right before the book came out, but the FL put their foot down. Well, yeah. Okay. So side note, I don't want to go too far on this bunny hole with AI, but no, thank you. Because I want real writers and real creativity, but that's just me. Just me. But I got to be careful, because we could go easily onto that conversation for the rest of the day. That's a whole topic in itself.
Don't get us started on that. That's
That's
right, the after show,
right, Elfie?
So.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Elfie says no, thank you. No, thank you. Right? No, thank you. Anyways, all right. Real quick, what are some of your guys' favorite moments or quotes or chapters? What pulled your heartstrings?
I mean, just right out of the gate, like, I just love how the story opened up. Like, that was such a great, unexpected prologue that I just love so much.
Yes! We talked about this. We did.
Yeah.
We talked about this. Oh my God.
We did. But I just wanted to make sure to highlight it specifically on stream.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
so beautiful.
it was. And that's what I love about it too. I mean, we'll talk about this a bit more in the world building, but like I just love how easily that like just slides in and expands the universe a little bit with just that prologue too. Like, yeah, it was absolutely beefy and a great little setup, and which is not what I was expecting. And it was such a great beginning to the book as well. So,
quick
and
question for this before we get to the prologue, but were you guys all excited when the first line was, "Did you ever hear of the tragedy of Darth Vader wise.
Yeah.
Were you guys all excited and be like, not expecting that?
I love the tie-in of like who it's from there as well, or like where they heard it from, and so like it's great.
Yeah. All right, Nicholas, you were saying?
I was going to say one of the things that I really liked in the prologue was how they put Dooku meeting with Sidious, and like the reservations, and like the fact that he's breathing a sigh of relief when he feels like he's successfully lied to Sidious. So he's aware that he is not to his power. He is not yet at a level where he could challenge him, and that really goes and fits well with the character we know of Sidious, because Sidious is someone. I mean, not Dooku, because he joined the dark side, but he wasn't. The Emperor's grand plan was not his grand plan. His grand plan was this is how I'm going to defeat the evil, is join the evil. But that led to his fall of the dark side. But it was really interesting to see that relationship play out in this.
Yes, agreed. Oh my gosh. Yes. And I'm definitely going to come back to that when we get to talking to about writing stuff, because so many really good moments that really just had nice circles. So yes. Ubaldo, would you like to add any favorite moments or quotes or anything that really knocked it out for you?
The thing that I like the most is also the beginning, but also with the relationship that established between Palpatine and Vader. You know, when he showed him that he's the ultimate power, he's the ultimate dark side. He still has a lot for him to learn, and to treat him the way he treated him at the beginning, to tell him, "Hey, I'm the one in charge." It's like it was kind of shocking to see a little bit of weakness in Vader, that that he's down, and the way Palpatine is treating him. But it also is teaching him a lesson. It's like, hey, you are powerful, you are my right hand man, but guess what? I'm still in charge, but you're the right man to be there. And it established that relationship. Like, yeah, I'm ready to move on. And again, because he's just been Darth Vader not so long, he needs to learn. There's a lot for him to learn.
This was his learning time.
Yeah, and it's like Nick said earlier, it's like you got to be careful how you treat him, because he's so powerful that everybody knows about him. So when you see the beginnings or in his mind, it's like, again, you're walking that fine line. You're really walking it, and it's a great start, and we take off from there.
Agreed. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I'm going to touch on a character that, Nicholas, you also mentioned that comes in later, and that's Apple. So some of my favorite parts of this book that pulled my heartstrings, during part 1, it was with the mention of Padme. And then later on, part 3, oh my gosh, the nitty-gritty. I loved this moment when I think it's chapter 32, and it's called It's Evil. And Apple is with Vader, and this whole thing is happening, and all of a sudden you have Padme, you have Ahsoka, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'm like, as I'm reading, I'm like I am invested, I'm in it. And Padme, of course, just always kind of pulls my heartstrings on my own personal reasons, but I just loved it. But then the whole duel of Anakin and Darth Vader, I'm like, so again at book club, I was just like, I kind of want to see this on the screen. And then I decided I had to take it back because I didn't want them to ruin what was in my imagination. I don't want anybody to ruin it. But I loved it. I could see it in my mind. And that is what, again, various moments like that really pulled my heartstrings through this book, which really just got me excited and like, let's go. And then I was just like, yes, let's go to more Vader. And I'm like, oh, wait, what am I saying?
So that scene almost reminded me like we were seeing the opposite end of Mortis. So when Anakin sees Vader,
yes,
and it's almost like it's the opposite. It's the Anakin from then facing off against the Vader of now, and they're both confronting each other. So
like
for me, yeah, I really like that.
What a moment. Okay, because like I loved Anakin. I love Vader. And I just like my heart gets so pulled in so many directions because I so badly want so much good for Vader. I want Vader to come back to the other side so badly. It takes a couple of, books and a couple of, movies, but we get there eventually. But still, it was just those gripping moments, and to see him. And again, as Ubaldo was saying, that this was the time that he's learning, and it was good to see this part of his life, to the in between, those beginning stages, because it's like you see what we see, on the movies, but it's like, but what happened next?
Yeah, the knowledge of the dark side.
Yeah, like what happened next, or in between here and here. And it was a nice bridge. There we go. It's a nice bridge. It was a nice bridge between it, which I appreciated a lot. So, oh my gosh, so excited about that. In fact, I mean, again, I could talk about Darth Vader and Anakin just on its own topic at this point, because I just feel so much for this character. And I am like a Padme. I just want him to be like, just one of these things. Anywho. Okay, so let's just go and move on a little bit. What did you guys think about the galaxy? What did you guys think about the world building, like in the regards to settings? Exciting? Loved it? Can say you don't like it. It's okay. I'd rather you be honest.
It was just great all around. I really feel like this is such a great story, like not just with the settings, but also where it fits into the overall timeline as well. It fits right into very nicely a very specific spot. When we read where Vader came from, it's like, holy cow, this is literally picking right off from the first arc of Charles Soule's Darth Vader, which if you haven't read that, go read that, as that's such a great story. But
I'm sorry, did you just say you wanted to suggest that to read?
Oh, absolutely. That is like, it is. If there's one Star Wars comic that I think is a must read, I would actually say it's probably that arc. And so I love that comic so much. And so to see that this story was, I remember my biggest concern with this book when we first got announced is I remember it saying I was tying directly into it in the early days of Vader, and specifically with that comic run. So I was really worried about like possible retcons with that comic, which is like not only is it my favorite Star Wars comic of all time, it's one of my favorite just comics in general. And so when they say it's closely connected to that, I was really worried of like, no, don't mess up my favorite comic, don't you know? And so but to see it just slide in so nicely and make its own nice mark on the galaxy and then the timeline there, I really like that. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many great things we could say about the world building with it. I really like the planet was great, that we get to explore there, and more the temple itself, and so like there's just a bunch of great stuff with it.
Yes, agreed.
One of the things I appreciate is I feel like at the end of where they leave Anakin at the end of Revenge of the Sith, dramatically doesn't match up with the Vader that we get in A New Hope. There's even though he's died, we're left with this Anakin that is desperate to find a way to save Padme and bring her back to life. And that is the lure that the Emperor has put him in with. But by the end of this book, we kind of see him have to put that to bed and kind of, go, okay, this is a weakness. This is something I have to get past and move on. And it gets us to the Vader that we know. And I really like how this did that. I also like the temple and stuff like that. If I were to have one thing that I didn't 100% care for, it was the secret agent that was part of a group that was even more secret than the ISB. I was like,
is it the one character that we never saw again? We talked about this. the other,
Yes.
book club. I'm
Yeah,
trying to think of her name. It starts with letter D. I'd have to
Yeah,
find
but
it.
I mean, we saw her a couple of times in the beginning, like when he's doing the research and like he's going to get caught, and she comes in and goes, "Oh, give him all clearance."
Yes.
And then,
Never
but
again.
it was weird that like they show her as if like even when Vader's dismissed, she's still there in Palpatine's inner circle, and it's like the character felt like it came out of nowhere, and then at the end of the book disappeared. Now I believe there's gonna be one more in this series of books, right?
Did you wait? There's gonna be. Oh my gosh! Yes, I've been asking about this. I've been putting on Discord.
Don't remember hearing that, but I mean, I do think that in general, though, there's some like ways they could do some cool sequels, though. So we'll see.
I would love that.
I hope so.
I originally, before starting the book, I thought that I had heard that somewhere, but I don't know that officially. I just so I was like, well, maybe that's a character for something bigger that's gonna pay off later.
I really hope so.
But she kind of felt like she was out of nowhere, and then was just dropped off halfway through the book and didn't go back to. So I felt like that was kind of a weird loose thread with everything else in the book being tied so nicely.
That's like my one big criticism of the book, honestly, is I thought even though when she was brief there, I thought her character was really intriguing. I just wish we could have gotten a little more of her though.
Yeah, that was one of our arguments we were having on Sundays, that she had like all the answers. She was at the right place at the right time. It's like, and and it's like, okay, man, this looks like a character that's going to be impacted through the book, and all of a sudden it's like gone. Like, okay, where'd she go? So it's like, I agree 100% with Nick. It was like she was built up pretty high up there, and then it's like, okay, this is going to be a tough one, and next thing you know, gone. I was like,
we're like, what happened to her?
I was like, crazy. It even established how the way Goth, but proceed from with the interactions with her, how to set him up for the whole book, and it's like, okay, was it a figment of our imagination or what? Because just gone. That's one thing we were like, didn't like that.
We were introduced into a good character, or could have been a good character.
Yeah.
And here's an odd thing, though. For me, it's like, yes, she could have been a good character, but I almost kind of forgot about her because, again, by the time I got into that one chapter, I didn't care about her at that point. I wanted my Vader. I wanted Anakin. I wanted Padme. I wanted Ahsoka. I wanted Obi-Wan. I wanted that whole moment. I was just engulfed into that moment. So it's like I forgot about her almost until, then I got to book club and we were talking. I was like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, because I kind of forgot about her. Do we want a character, though, that's forgettable? But she had potential. She had potential.
Well, and the other thing that was kind of weird is that her character was like this organization, if the ISB is like our CIA, they're doing dirty things. They're doing like all the stuff that you see in Andor and stuff like that. But like, she's like this almost like Court of Owls type character, like, oh no, she's the secret society above the secret society. But does that really mesh well with the Emperor? Like, I feel like outside of like letting the Imperial machine control things, like an upper society, like that's the Emperor. That is what he is. He's like the super evil mastermind that goes over things. The idea that there's like this in between him and the ISB level, I don't know. It felt weird, and then to not follow up on it.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point, because I feel like there's ways that it can make it work. I think the pure reason of it not really maybe meshing well for you is just like we just didn't get enough to really see if that really works or not. And I think that was the problem of, to me, in my mind, I feel like it makes sense of, obviously the Emperor's behind absolutely everything, but I could understand how there would have to be secret level to make sure everything still goes smoothly. But, the problem is this is like a new idea introduced, as far as I know, that we just haven't really, we just didn't really get to see any of that. But that's one of the big things I liked about the book in general is even with where our main character is at, we don't really get to explore that side of the like Imperials in general. And so I like seeing that bit.
Yes. Yes. So I'm going to go back to something that Nicholas actually mentioned earlier in regards to goth in perspective. So kind of switching the roles over here to talking about the writing style here. Did you guys think that Adam Christopher made the right decision in regards to creating a new character named Goth and having it come from his perspective? Smart move? What do we think?
I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I thought it was a brilliant move, because with a book you have to give the characters inner monologue. In a book that was just following Vader, which I've read some before, they sometimes come in a danger if they're having to instead of through actions describe Vader's thinking about whether he has sympathy or anger or hate, or sometimes getting too mushy into Vader's reasonings can lessen the character and divide the audience on how they react to it. But with Goth, we're getting this other character that we get to experience it through. They might have done better to present that that's what the book was going to do. I could see somebody who was excited that this was going to be straight from Vader's perspective, then coming in and going, wow, this is a bait and switch. So while Vader is the main theme character, because it's who we're investigating, it's who we're following, and in the end it's his character that really has a good resolve and progresses forward. But the book doesn't follow from Vader as the narrator. So that could have been a little more clear in the marketing, but I think it was a good choice.
I agree, because if you think about it, if you write a book about Star Wars and you write about, it's going to be goth, everybody's going to be like, who? It's like, we've never heard of this person. And it's like, you almost kind of have to sell the whole story, so the marketing, it's understandable what they're doing. Also, what I like is that for somebody who doesn't know who Vader was, he described them pretty well.
Yes.
Especially there was a time where they were in the oh my god, when they were looking for the temple at the end of the jungle. It's like Goth is explaining it to where he's there, but he's not there because of that shadow that he has. That he can control his breathing, he can control his lighting. So one minute he's next to you, next minute he's not there. So it gives us that mystery and that that power of Vader, that he's starting to learn who he is and how powerful he becomes. So yeah, it's one of those topics like, okay, how do you advertise the book? You put Vader on anything, everybody's gonna pretty much pick it up, especially if you get a cover like this. Everybody's like, oh wow,
this was amazing.
Yes.
And
love the color. Cover.
To something Ubaldo just spoke about, I kind of talked about a few of my gripes about the audiobook, but one of the things that did really well, that this writer does well, is this writer describes when Vader's doing some things that the mechanical breathing stops, which happens in the movies, but usually they don't point that out in the books. They don't go, at this point it stopped and then suddenly that breathing was back and it's menacing. But coupling with the narrator saying that and then having the audio effect was really cool. Of like, when the narrator says it and all of a sudden you realize, I haven't heard it, and then it's and it's like it gives you chills. So it was a nice touch of mending that narration with that audio effect.
It's almost like from Rogue One, it's like we get that hallway scene. It's like it's dark, and next thing you hear that breathing, and then the lightsaber. Oh my, it's gonna get good.
And suddenly I feel like we just need to dismiss and start watching Star Wars movies. Like, that's it. That is that excitement.
Yeah.
The excitement. because it's like everything you guys are describing, it just comes to life. And that's what I loved about this book, is like I felt like I was watching it in my mind. That's what I loved about this writing style.
Well, and this I think I hope Ro hears this, but I think this is one of the reasons why Star Wars has survived for these 50 years, because we get stories like this.
Yes.
You get some hit and misses, but we still get good stuff, quality out there. Like, Nick says he heard it in audio, and you get the sound effects. It's like, it's amazing. While I was reading it, it's like, wow, you're right. We keep forgetting that, he could turn off that sound, that breathing, and it just makes it more, almost like a scary movie. It's like he's there, but he wasn't there, but he is there, So it's like, it's amazing. That's what makes it survive. That's why we hear almost 50 years and we're still talking about it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I know. Which we will get back to 50 years and talking about it here as we begin to wrap up here in a few minutes. So last overall closing thoughts before we start ranking how we feel about this book. Any last overall thoughts?
Something we didn't really talk about that I liked is that the family that guards the temple. And something that Star Wars fans in general, or at least I should say people debating Star Wars online, get into this camp of labeling all Force users a Jedi or a Sith.
Yeah.
And then they'll use the term gray Jedi or something, but like those are dogmas, those are religions. That is not light and dark. Like, just because you use the dark side doesn't make you a Sith. That is a specific religion. The same with being a good person doesn't make you automatically a Jedi. That is a code that they subscribe to. So I love it when they show people, these are people who were Force sensitive. They were on a backwards planet that wasn't part of the Republic, so they weren't ever recruited by Jedi. And this family of strong Force users have been passing down guarding this temple. And, kind of seeing through that family, seeing them try to confront Vader, but not really, they're not having proper training or understanding of the Force in that same discipline. And so I thought all of that was really interesting. I also thought the connection back to a race that I feel is underutilized in Star Wars, which is the Techno Union. I liked the Techno Union, and so finding out, like their technology, it got reassembled into the Empire.
Yeah, and it's also a good thing you mentioned that, Nick, because they even showed them, hyperspace, how they do it. With the lasso and everything. Hey, I got this. Even with the greatest technology that they had, it's like they still were learning from just your basic family. How to control hyperspace, and it was kind of like even TC was like, it's not gonna work, and then surprisingly it did work.
And it was interesting because that kind of I know not everybody's a fan of and I have mixed feelings on it, but the High Republic books dealt a lot with the secrets of how hyperspace lanes were discovered, and how it was a family of people with Force powers that weren't Jedis, that were using it commercially, that had a specific ability to sense these things so they could map them out, and then once mapped out they could be used. And like they kind of went into a lot of that, how these hyperspace lanes are used. And so this is showing like a different technology of that lasso, of being able to grab onto something to stop yourself and get you out of hyperspace, and was interesting.
Yeah. Spencer?
I don't know if I have anything else specific to honestly say. I mean, yeah, I can't think of any other specific points. I think we hit all things.
Right. Well, would you want to kick us off with a rating? Like if you did 5 stars, where would you be?
I would probably put it at somewhere between a 4 or maybe a 4.5. I thought it was really good. I thought it was, for the most part, is paced really well. I just think some things are maybe like kind of quick, or like maybe a couple ideas here and there that feels like it kind of comes out of nowhere. Like you talked about earlier, that one person who comes through like the middle of the book, and wishing that we got her back, or when those Techno Union people first came in, I felt like that was kind of out of nowhere as well. And so, like, not saying I didn't like they were part of the overall story, but just like when it first happened, it's just like, well, what? Okay. And so, like, there's certain bits of the pacing there I was like, or way things were done that I think could have been a little better. But like, other than that, though, I thought it was still a really good read, and I just love how it fits into the overall universe, though. So, yeah, maybe like a 4.3 if I was to get like exact, So. But yeah,
did really love that scene though of the Techno Union people with Vader, and then them just trying to not Techno Union, whatever they that's the problem. I can't remember a lot of the names of things, but they were trying to schmooze this Emperor representative and give him like cocktail weenies and hors d'oeuvres. Vader's just like, I'm here for business.
Yeah.
Cut the chit chat.
Like if we were hearing what Vader was thinking, it either would upset everybody that Vader was being too evil, wanting to kill them all, or people would be upset that he wasn't evil enough and wanting to kill them all. So I think just having him in the room breathing, you can almost imagine the frustration there.
Some things are just better left for the imagination.
It's true.
Or maybe he's so angry because he can't enjoy that stuff anymore. Into his anger.
Exactly. Nicholas, where would you rate this?
Probably a 4 out of 5. Just in the it's really good, and I really enjoyed it. There were a few loose ends and stuff like that, what we mentioned, but I would say also it's good as standalone and kind of filling in the gaps, but it's also not something that which it can't be because really the time period is in, but it's not something of epic scale. Like when we did the EU book of like Thrawn, that was the next big epic push forward of the universe. This is explaining a pocket of the move of a character, and then with Garth and Nine's, really their personal story. So I feel like the scope of it is it couldn't be a 5 for me. It could never be even. But it is something that I am very glad I read and definitely would recommend.
What do you think, Ubaldo?
For me, I'm like with Nick and Spencer. I'm right in the middle, like a 4.12. Yes, I wanted more Vader, but like I explained earlier, the chapters were quick. We read through it pretty fast. There's times that I was reading, next thing you know, it's like 2 hours have gone by, and I go, oh shoot, I almost finished the book. So it was good. I like to see Vader more, but it's understandable. As soon as I finished reading the book, I understood it's like this is the beginning of the Empire. There's people out there that are like, oh, not giving it bad reviews because they're expecting Vader, but people need to understand this is the beginning. This is a side story that that we're getting. The universe is so huge. It's like there's got to be things happening. There's other people out there with force sensitive. There's got to be, not just the Jedi or the Sith. It's like so for me, it's a good read. I recommend it. If you're like force sensitive enthusiast, by all means, this is your book. If you're expecting to be Vader, yeah, you'll get him, but not as much. But it's a good story told by aside from TC and Goth point of view.
Yes.
So
and we get those Vader moments. It's just not Vader from beginning to end.
Beginning to end, yeah. But when we get them real good. So yeah. It's like Nick said too. It's like I'm here for business. It's not. I got no time to lose. Come on. Who's off with their heads almost type of attitude if you don't give me the answers.
Oh,
so, but yeah, it's a good read.
Yeah. I'm gonna round out. I am like the same. Like I am like I want it so badly to be like a 5, but I know it's not a 5. But I know it's not a 4. It's like right in between. One, you guys already mentioned her, Dessler. Like that. I think if we might have had her all the way through, in a good way, maybe it would have been higher. But other than that, no, I really liked this book. Again, I wanted more. When I was done, I'm like, do we get book 2? I'm ready for book 2, But, Ubaldo makes a really good point. But this is where you get to begin to read like The Empire and all that stuff. And I'm like, well, then give me that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think also it was wise of Adam Christopher to include, characters like Goth, right? Because it's kind of like Rogue One. Now, yes, we ended up getting more Rogue One in the long run in the sense of Andor, but that was like its own Suicide Squad. You know what I mean? So it's like when we got introduced to Goth, we found out we find out something about him. I'm not going to say what it is because I want people to want to read this. And then we kind of know, like, okay, we know where we are at with this character now. We know what to expect. But I loved the Vader moments, and I loved them to no end. So I'm like a writer, like 4-ish, somewhere in there. I'm somewhere there. So either way, I am so excited that we read this. So I am so grateful for everybody that's been reading along with us this month. And again, we're going to be doing more Star Wars this year. Definitely coming up in May, we're going to be reading some more Star Wars. July, for my birthday month, we're also going to be reading some Star Wars. So a little bit of Star Wars sprinkled in on the in-between with some other cool books. Again, in March, we're going to be revisiting an author we read last year, Andy Weir, Project Hail Mary. I'm so excited for this one. But on the in-between, I am so excited. So quick reminder, this Saturday is Star Wars Podcast Day. I'm excited. So make sure you are subscribed to the Red 5 YouTube channel, as well as many others, because there's going to be a lot of fun Star Wars conversation happening this Saturday. But before we leave, I want to visit each of you, see what's going to be happening with you guys, see if you guys are also going to be involved with Star Wars Podcast Day, and where everybody can find you on social media. Nicholas, you want to go ahead and get us started?
Yeah, I'm the Backyard Tardis on Twitter, on YouTube, Discord, all of those places. And I'm going to try to have something for Star Wars Podcast Day. It snuck up on me this year. It felt like every year they are really good about announcing it ahead of time and getting everybody involved. And this year it felt like it was much more quiet until it's like, oh, it's here. We got to do something. But for me, I really enjoyed this book. I'm really looking forward to the next book we're doing. And if I was going to say one last thing, the Vader in this book feels very much, if you've read the canon, or the current canon, I should say, Thrawn books that are set in this time period, it feels like the Vader from that. So it it's not mismatched. Like they're maintaining in these books a tone for Vader. So I like that, and looking forward to doing some more.
Yes. Spencer.
All right, I'm a maniac. I'm involved in a lot of things, so bear with me here for one moment.
Here, let me get comfortable. Okay. Go ahead.
Anyway, so before I talk about what's coming up, I want to just shout out 2 days ago on Tuesday, I dropped my video, which was an interview with Morgan Hampton, current writer that works at DC for Green Lantern Corps, previously worked on a Star Trek comic.
Check it out. Great interview. Great interview.
And so I hope that's the start of many great things to come for the Dingus Den. Today, I just dropped my review over Transformers Volume 3 of the Energon Universe, those are great comics. I've been going through and reviewing them all through my friend Warren, Lunchbox Comics. And so we've been having a great time talking about all that stuff. Saturday, I'm also participating in Star Wars Podcast Day. And so make sure you go check out what I'm dropping, probably around the morning or very midday-ish. And so I'm excited to talk about, or I'm excited for that, as me and Ian, we already recorded it. We talked about Star Wars Visionaries. And so that was an awesome, great, big conversation that we had delving into that. So go check that out. And Saturday night, I will be live for my weekly Smallville podcast For the Cape, where we are now into season 2. This week covering episodes 2 and 3. And then Monday nights, I run a D&D game on my Twitch, and then is later uploaded to a channel called the Tabletop Lounge. And I'm really excited for where the games are going there. So, and yeah, a bunch of stuff.
This is true.
I'm involved with a lot.
Yes.
So I keep myself very busy.
Yes.
Spencer, where can everybody find you at?
Right there at Dingus Den. Find it on YouTube. Find it on Twitch. You can also find on X, Twitter, Twix, as I like to call it. And I've also actually just started a couple days ago using a Dingus Den account on Threads, and so go check that out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, Ubaldo, what's happening?
No, not much. I'm the guy who's always peeking inside, like on the chat. Hey, hello there. Come in and out. No, I hang around with everybody. I'm hanging around with everybody's chat. I'm like Spencer. I'm on, Facebook, Twix, you name it, Instagram. Once in a while, join some, like you here in the book club. Once in a while, I did one with Spencer. We did a comic review on Batman. We're planning, right, Spencer, to do the rest of the issues here soon. So you'll catch me here and there. I also, try to catch, Nick, when he goes live, and I'm the guy who once in a while does. I'm here on the chat. Hello. So yeah, but I'm around.
Awesome.
Almost forgot one thing. I actually am going to be on a stream tonight. I do a weekly stream with Ro on a mutual friend of ours, the Price of Reason live channel, where for years he does a lot of commentary on, oh, this is bad. And I said, you really love this stuff. We should do stuff on what was good, what you liked before. And so he started a live channel, and on Thursday nights, 7 p.m. Pacific, so that would be 9 Central. Okay. For Ro, but we're going to be doing Star Trek TNG Encounter at Farpoint. So the first episode. So that's what we've been doing lately, is just pilots. And so usually we're either revisiting something just because it's fun, but one of the things is we'll take something when something's a hot topic that's not real popular right now, Star Trek Academy, we go back and we celebrate what was in the past, what we liked. And so we did the last 2 weeks, we did the 2 different pilots for TOS, both the one that didn't air originally, The Cage, and then Where No Man Has Gone Before. And now we're doing Encounter at Farpoint this week, and then we'll do DS9 next week, unless we split this into 2, because Encounter at Farpoint is a double episode. But so we just go through the episode, walk it through. We have it kind of paused and skip through it in the background as we discuss what's going on, and there's laughs and ensue and all that.
Awesome. That's
nice.
Awesome. All right. Well, it's good to see a positive opposite of a different energy. That's good.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, thank you all so very much for joining me today. Thank you, Ubaldo, Spencer, and Nicholas. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Make sure you check out Nicholas at Backyard Tardis, Spencer at the Dingus Den, and you'll see this guy. He'll be, lurking in the chat saying, hello there. So make sure, again, check out Star Wars Podcast Day this Saturday, February 7th. And I'll be back on the 15th. And then again on the 25th. And I can't wait to see you all. Again, let me know. Send me a DM if you are interested in joining us for March's book club Project Hail Mary. It's very excited. So anyways, thank you all so very much. I hope that you guys have a great day. And may the force be with you. Bye, you guys. See you on the